So I think diversity is critical. The evidence has shown that innovation is born out of diversity, that companies can, have greater efficiency and output if they have diverse group of employees.
We are an environment of different user inputs, user needs, different patients, different feedback, different everything from everyone. So having a diverse team that's open to challenging traditional ideas and beliefs is actually a massive asset to organizations.
Because at the end of the day, we need diversity of thought, we need diversity of experience, we need diversity of culture because we're working in a diverse environment. If we're not creating diversity of thought and creating diversity in our teams, then we're actually already biasing the end result.
We're all unique. We all bring something different to work every day. An idea that one person has, the next person might be able to build on that. So that's why I just think it's so important that there's equal opportunity for everyone in STEM and the workplace.
Diversity is really important to the sector for the same reason that it's important to everything in life, really, is you need to be able to gain perspectives of more than just one person, more than just one audience, but your broader base of customers and patients. The people that we're serving are a diverse group of people. And so the actions that we take and the decisions that we make are critical to have views of all of those perspectives, the diverse world that we're serving.
And if we think about from an artificial intelligence perspective, if we don't get more women into technology who are coding our artificial intelligence, we are already creating a gender bias in the systems which are going to guide us for the rest of our lives.
Diversity has brought women into leadership. I mean, I feel so grateful that I get to work in a company and that the people that I can look up to are these women that are holding leadership roles. And it's just really inspiring for young girls like me and all other STEM women out there.
Challenging of ideas and evolution of concepts when it comes to product and design and improvements for our surgeons and their patients. But diversity, importantly, also means that because we're dealing with such a broad range of different surgical specialties and different people that work within an operating team and theatre environment, the more diverse we can be, I think, is more representative of what we're actually experiencing in hospitals and theatres, because it brings together all kinds of different people and roles and backgrounds and experiences.
In my area, the team didn't used to be as diverse as it is currently. The team now is made up of roughly 50% men and women. It is made up of a whole group of different backgrounds and points of view of people who are more senior and more junior. And one of the best things I really like to see in our collaborative and project development is seeing all these people talking and sharing ideas and concepts at the same time. So for an example, we sit down in a design review and we critique our designs that we work on, and it sounds like the worst job in the world that you would be standing up there presenting your design and people just grill you and try and challenge every assumption you have made. And having someone who, even a junior person that puts up their hand and says, hey, how about this as an idea, it might not have ever been something that's been thought about before. So having that diversity in ideas and concepts that might develop a concept that no one in a traditional established environment like that would have come up with before.
The awareness that I had of, people in leadership roles, I think when I was in uni was we'd have industry nights, and I think so often a lot of the representatives were men. So I was kind of expecting, especially studying in STEM, to go into a more male-dominated workforce. But I think that the work, that has been done in the last 10 to 15 years to get more women into STEM is paying off, because just from my personal experience, the company that I'm working in, there are so many great women leaders around me.
So some of the characteristics, traits or attributes that I'm seeing that are common across women in leadership with Johnson & Johnson is a lot of strategy. So people who are coming to roles who are really strategic, strong marketing backgrounds, strong insight-driven reasons to the way that they approach things. And people who have empathy, I think, is a huge point of view. They're able to gain more fellowship and they're able to gain more sort of personal connection because they bring the empathy to the role as well.
In my own personal experience, I've seen a lack of diversity, especially at senior executive level in technology roles. So much so that it's a purpose and a passion of mine to rectify that. I think when I look at the experiences I've had where I've actually been able to balance the diversity in a team, the level to which we operate is so much higher than where it was if it's just gender neutral, like it's all male or it's all female. Getting the balance right is so very important. So for me, it's a purpose and it drives me every day. When I step into a room and I'm the only female in there as a CIO, when I go to a lunch and I was the only female that was in there, I'd actually hold them accountable and say, you're better than this. There are more people out there that can be invited. I am not the only female leader. But what I do recognize is that there is a lack of female leaders in technology roles, and we need to solve that. So it's interesting when I take a look at women within Johnson & Johnson that are advancing their careers, and it has actually taken not only male champions that have assisted, but a network of coaches and mentors and sponsors to get them there. And it's one thing that as women we don't often ask for is someone to help us get to where we need to get to, because we expect a fair playing field. And that should be everyone's expectation. And what I found when I came to J&J is the level of focus on advancing women, no matter their level in the organization, is so tangible and so proactive that we actually have in the J&J workforce, 46% of our workforce is currently women. And 32% of those are in VP roles. So 32% of our VPs and above, our most senior leaders in our organization, are women.
So the current role that I'm in as a leadership role is actually a job share role. So I work 3 days a week and I job share. And it is one of the examples that we have at Johnson & Johnson of a job share or flexible workplace arrangement at a leadership level. And it basically enables me to have that flexibility in place formally so that I can be available to look after my 2-year-old daughter, but also further my career and drive my career aspirations within Johnson & Johnson.
The women here in leadership roles, they're just such inspiring people. They have these amazing communication, influencing skills. They have empathy. They really care for everyone else that is working alongside them and working in our workforce. I mean, and then also it's also inspiring when you get to see these women. Not only are they leading here at work, but a lot of them, have families of their own and they're role models in their own right.
I think from a personal perspective, when I look at the type of career it has provided me, I am such a huge advocate for more women coming into the technology component of STEM. I've seen the ability for me to raise a family, balance work, study, and career.
And being involved in our WLI group, or Women in Leadership and Inclusion group, has meant that I've been able to lead our community pillar and focusing on support for families and support for carers. And we've driven a partnership through Johnson & Johnson with a company called Parents at Work to enable a huge supply of different resources, webinars, information sessions, with particular reference for supporting not just parents, not just mums and dads, but the fact that everybody has got a family and a lot of people have different caring responsibilities that can impact upon their roles. So there's resources and support and tools that we've been able to provide to people through our partnership with Parents at Work.
And actually, this week is our 25th anniversary of the Women's Leadership and Inclusion Employee Resource Group. Now, this WLI group has been fully focused on community, inclusion, and the advancement of women since its inception. And so this is something that I see across the entirety of J&J. And I'm so privileged to work in a company that focuses on the advancement of women at all levels.
So we have had a project team that has come together over the past 6 months or so that is working towards our citation for WGEA, which is the Workplace Gender Equality Agency, a government-run agency. And essentially what we've put our submission in for is it's quite a prestigious citation awarded by WGEA, which recognises employers that are leaders in gender equality. To be recognised as a workplace that really upholds the standards of gender equality and fairness. What that means is the citation will look at things like gender pay gap, making sure that when people are applying for roles or are in recruitment processes that it's an even spread of candidates across different genders, and essentially making sure that looking at the business broadly, there's a gender equity lens that's applied to all of the different functions that business goes through.